Welcome to the Straight Out of Home Video podcast, part of the Geeky Waffle Network. Today's episode is the Extremely Goofy Movie. I'm Candace, and with me is Vanessa. Hey, Vanessa.
Hey, Candace.
And our Geeky Waffle writer, Arzu. Hey, what's up?
Hey, I'm good. I'm excited.
So you chose this movie.
Yes, I did.
Why did you choose the Extremely Goofy Movie?
I chose this one because I don't know. This, of the two Goofy movies, this was the one I liked more as a kid. And I don't know what it was, but I watched it so much that when I was like rewatching it to do this, I was surprised how much of the movie I had committed to memory.
Yeah, you could just recite the lines, right?
Yeah. Like just I was reciting along with like one of the scenes, and my cousin was sitting with me and she was just giving me this look like, really? I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. It's just in there.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, Vanessa.
I was just as surprised as she was.
And
Vanessa wanted to make sure she was on this one too.
Yes. And how long had it been since you had seen it?
Years. Obviously pre-Disney Plus because that's pretty new, but like definitely at least 10 years, but I definitely want to say longer.
Extremely Goofy Movie is a sequel to The Goofy Movie. It's one of these direct-to-home video sequels. And Max is off to college, and Goofy's super sad about it. But then he gets fired from his job, and guess what? He's going back to school, y'all. That's like, I'm trying to do a summary. I don't know what else to say. And then there's a whole thing about X Games. Did this feel like a commercial for ESPN and X Games to you guys?
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised that they used ESPN, like the actual logo on everything.
Well, Disney owns ABC and ESPN. So it's all tied together.
I'm almost wondering if like 1999 was right about when they bought ESPN, or like in the lead up and they knew it was going to happen. So they wanted to sort of, like in my cynical adult brain, I'm wondering if that's why this is such a big part of the movie.
Yeah, it's Max, his friends PJ and Bobby, who's played by Pauly Shore. They're apparently really good X Games rider, bicyclist, whatever. And athletes.
Athletes is a good word.
Yes. This is so 90s. It's extreme. And I just kept writing, was this what like people thought teens were doing in the 90s?
I think that
was this what teens were doing?
I think some of them probably were. But, you know, it's also a bigger social commentary on the fact that, you know, when you go off to college, it's not for school.
No.
Yeah, the first thing they do when they get there, they're like, we're going to ride our skateboards. Or is it bicycles?
Skateboards.
Skateboards.
Someone's on rollerblades.
Yeah, okay. They're doing X game things. And apparently it's a big deal in the school. Like, there's like rivalries and stuff like that, including Bradley Uppercrust the third.
Which means that there are two
so seriously.
Yeah, which means that there are two other Bradley Uppercrusts before him, which is concerning to me.
He was drawn so well. He looked like a douche. Like,
oh yeah, I kept thinking he looked like the Grinch for some reason.
It's the smile.
The Grinch is the douche.
Yeah, so
he's played by Jeff Bennett, whose voice is like everywhere, and I was like, I know that voice. Why do I know that voice? Oh, Jeff Bennett's been in like everything. We just did our Gargoyles episode, or at least recorded it, and he was like Brooklyn in that.
Oh,
and yeah, Jeff
just
Bennett
one
is
of those
just like
Voices.
Johnny Bravo.
Okay, all right. Yeah, there were quite a few like known people in there. So now I'm forgetting the actors' names, but the tank who is the kind of the henchman, Brad Garrett, who is
from Everyone Loves
the
Raymond,
brother,
the older brother,
and then the one who plays Sylvia, which is Goofy's love interest,
Phoebe Newhart.
She is Frasier's ex-wife on Frasier.
And a Broadway
and
star.
on a lot of other stuff, but
So Goofy goes to college, and of course he embarrasses Max, because that's what Goofy does.
Of course.
He finds a lady love, and it's so weird. Goofy, like, gets it. He has a son, so that implies he's been married before.
Or at least impregnated somebody.
Oh god! Vanessa, I didn't want to go that far.
He has game. What do you want me to say?
I have to agree with Vanessa here. Like, he's off to college. His son is there with his two 18-year-old friends, and he's got the most game of all of them.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the one who...
It's not there, you know?
Yeah, there's a disco scene, and he's got moves.
Yeah.
So does she.
I love this disco scene. I just love it so much. I love the music in this movie, like, generally speaking, because it's all, like, 70s dance music.
Yes.
Yeah, there was randomly a Pat Benatar song when they're going off to college. And I was like, Pat Benatar singing? Why is she singing? The music's great. The animation is so much better than these other direct-to-home videos that at least I've been watching lately.
The animation was good. I don't actually think that I saw this movie before. I feel like I thought I watched this one because I always remembered him being in college. But I was like, this does not ring any sort of bell. But yeah, I was like, oh man, I love a Goofy movie, but I'm not excited because I immediately, all of those feelings came back up when, he's just like so excited to get away from his dad, and his dad just like loves him like more than anything in the entire world.
That's the thing. That's an issue I have with this movie. Yes, I'm bringing up my issues with this direct-to-home movie sequel. Is I feel like Max learns the same lesson that he learned in the first movie.
That was the funny thing,
Goofy.
Was that I was watching this with my fiance, and he had seen it like a ton of times as a kid, and so I was just like, wait a second, didn't this already happen in the first movie? Like, wasn't he kind of embarrassed, and then they had like a heart-to-heart? Yeah, but I mean, Max is a little bit of a douche.
Max,
yeah, absolutely,
played by James Marsden, who was one of my crushes because he was on Step by Step. I had a crush on him. I definitely did. But yeah, I thought he learned the lesson that his father loves him, and then also Goofy learned how to give him space.
So it's just a rehashing of different story, but same lessons.
It could almost be that, I don't know, this is just me like thinking that like in the first one they kind of learn, well, I guess Goofy learns how to listen to Max, and then Max sort of learns that his dad does love him, and in this one it's more like, I don't know, Max learns to kind of take that a step further and appreciate his dad for who he is, because like everybody else at the college does. Like in the first movie, everybody would agree Goofy is embarrassing, but nobody else seems to feel that way in this after a certain
that's
point.
True. That's interesting because I mean, at the very beginning, for sure, it's like, oh God, like really picture this. You know, you're sitting there on your first day of college and independence and freedom, and then your dad walks in and just completely like, yes.
It's dressed like it's 1973.
Yeah, with an afro. And I put in a note that one of the girls in the lecture hall was like looking at Goofy like, yes, please.
Oh no.
I was like, one of them likes it.
Oh man. Well, they all liked it after a while.
Okay, let's just go back to like the beginning when Max and his friends are first day of school. They're doing their X game stuff and they get in trouble with some bullies.
Well, it's not even, oh sorry, go ahead.
And they're in a coffee shop, and the way they get saved from the bullies is by a beatnik girl in a beret who does not have a name, even though she's in a lot of this movie.
Oh my gosh, she doesn't.
She doesn't have a name.
This just occurred to me.
Yes, it's so sad. I was like, well, who's this actress? Like, she sounds familiar. And I'm like, well, I don't know what her name is because she doesn't have one.
As it was pointed out to me, this was released in what year?
2000.
99?
It was 2000.
Yeah, and that was like super relevant at the time, as far not West Side Story, but just the whole like beatnik culture. So it was just kind of like this almost not joke, but yeah, I guess joke on the whole like beatnik coffee shop kind of like college student.
Yeah. It was just like a mix. So we went from X Games to beatniks, and I was like,
it's a lot of stereotypes, I feel, for that particular time frame in college life.
Yeah, there's like all the whole frat thing with the Bradley upper crust. That's very, which movie is that? God, which is it? Animal House?
Yes. Well, that is a frat movie, yes.
I'm trying to remember which one has like they have the rivalry with the other gang and like Revenge of the Nerds and stuff like that, I believe. Maybe not. I do not remember these movies.
I feel like that's a lot of them, though. I mean, they always have rivalries.
Yeah, true. And then there's all the sports movies. They have all the sports moments too, where they're like, the people have doubt, but then they get their hope back. And it's very dramatic.
They need the underdog athlete at the last second who's going to pull through and they're going to win this thing.
Yeah. And, okay, so let me just go back to one thing that was at the very beginning. This kind of relates to just, like, the athletics kind of thing. But when Goofy throws the horseshoe and it bounces off of, like, everything and then still manages to make it to the post and no one's paying attention, I'm like, are you kidding me? That was phenomenal.
Poor Goofy.
Because they underestimate him. They're like, well, it's out of the yard. It's never going to make it now. And then they just walk away.
Yeah. And it's just like, no, that was a fantastic shot. And he probably did it on purpose.
Are you thinking like Goofy is like a secret like savant or something?
Yeah, for sure.
It's and a character he's playing.
Maybe that's the whole point of the movie is like, you don't think that because of just how every once in a while he gets like really, he's super clumsy and like, you know, has these like crazy moments. But maybe that's the whole underlining of the movie is like Goofy is just awesome.
He's clueless, but he's not stupid.
So there's a lot of things that we're missing from the original movie. Like they don't mention Roxanne, which is Max's girlfriend or his love interest at all, which I understand. Goofy used to be like a photographer too. I guess he lost that job and now is working at a soulless factory.
Aww.
I mean, he's mishap prone.
That's true.
So something probably happened there.
Yeah. Actually,
something similar to what happens in this movie. Something explodes.
I just love how like he goes to the employment office to try to find a new job and she's like, you need a college degree. And I'm like, do you though?
Yeah, well, that was my thing is just like, you know, let's look at this overall social commentary about how you cannot get a job anymore without a college degree. And it doesn't even seem to matter what degree it is. It's just like, go get a degree, any degree.
We never find out what he's studying or what Max is studying.
I think it's just like a general college.
Okay, this was very, very strange because they're like, the first lecture Goofy walks in on is some kind of philosophy or English lit something or other. But then the same professor is later giving half a philosophy exam and half a math exam. And then Goofy's got trigonometry homework and he's doing like something to do with economics. I'm like, what is your major? Like, I get that Max is undeclared. He's a freshman, but like Goofy, sir, what is your major?
Maybe it's business.
Like,
based off of that.
Could be, I guess.
Maybe.
Why is he taking philosophy? That's what I
well,
understand.
You know, it's a general requirement. So that would be like the... But what I don't understand is that he only had a year left. So why are they in the same class?
Oh, that's true.
Maybe he just took all his, like, he needed more general education to finish his degree.
Or he crammed all 4 years into 1 year, because it seems like he could potentially do that.
That's very true, too. Oh. All that studying he does towards the
he has, like,
end of the movie, like, yeah, that's a 4-year
He has, like, 15 books piled up.
What did you guys think of the Goofy librarian romance?
Oh, I thought she was awesome.
I thought it was cute. He found somebody who's just as, like, not odd, but, like, just as geeky about the same thing as he is.
We all know that geekiness is awesome.
It is. That's what we're all about here.
That's a real cute thing of the story is, like, you know, you just find that other person who understands you're weird and is just as weird, and you both just go together.
Oh, so I remember this movie specifically because of one line. And it's Bobby saying, "Why are we wearing gloves?" Which I thought was brilliant.
That philosophy lecture is getting to him.
What part of the movie was that?
It's right before Max decides he's dropping out. Bobby and PJ are sitting in the coffee shop with the girl with no name.
The girl with no name.
And he just offhand wonders why they're always wearing gloves. And then the scene shifts to like talk about Max. But
yeah, but it just like, I was like, why are you wearing gloves? Especially as a kid. I was like, even when they're in their PJs.
So meta.
Yeah.
It's so meta.
I love it.
I love things like that.
As a kid, I thought that was the smartest joke ever. I was like, oh my god, this is brilliant.
They said it. Okay, so let's talk about the end of the movie because, well, actually, there's not much to talk about that. It's just like a commercial, an animated commercial for the X Games on ESPN.
But can we talk about how that course, like, would literally just kill anybody who actually tried to do it?
I put in my notes, I was like, Bradley Uppercrust literally left his friend to die.
Oh, yeah, I know. Well, that's the whole point, is that Max is actually a good person, and Bradley Uppercrust the third.
Is he a good person or just like a decent, not human being, but like a decent being?
Well, he is decent. I mean, like that's the whole thing, is that at the end of the day, he might be kind of a douchebag toward his dad, but he actually has like a good heart and really does care about people and does care about his dad, because in the end he does give him the trophy. And I mean, I know that, like, you know, this probably won't last. This is one moment in time, but hopefully he's just going through that phase as a teenager where you're just like, oh, Dad, stop embarrassing me. And I can hope that this turned out, like, later on to be, like, the decisive moment in their relationship.
He doesn't, because there's a Christmas
movie
where it tells a bunch of different stories, and Max brings home a girl from college, and he's like, oh, my dad's gonna embarrass me, kind of thing. And of course, they instead, like, discover, like, oh, I love my dad again. He keeps having to learn this lesson over and over again.
He's not that smart.
And yeah, and also Sylvia's not there, so I guess it didn't work out between the two of them.
That's tragic.
I don't like...
That's the real tragedy of this whole story.
There's a whole lot of continuity errors in all of this.
Yeah, did you guys ever watch the Goof Troop series? The Disney Afternoon?
Like the odd episode here and there.
Oh, okay. So I'm all about my Disney afternoons growing up. That was like, I was like, I got through a day of school, I get to watch like an hour of TV. Then I have to do my homework, and then I'm into bed. That was my life as a child. But like PJ's dad has a wife and daughter, Peg and Pistol. And they're not mentioned at all.
Maybe it's a different universe, because they're not in the first movie either.
Yeah, but I figured it was because, like, it didn't take place, like, at home. They were on vacation, so maybe, like, Pete and PJ were doing, like, a...
Father-son thing.
Yeah, father-son thing.
That's fair.
But, oh, the Goofy multi-universe.
Is this a thing?
It is now.
No, but it is now, exactly.
Oh, I thought you had found something about, like that already being explained.
No, because Goofy was recently on the new DuckTales, and he's still a photographer there. So something happened.
Do I have to watch the new DuckTales? I might have to.
It's really good. It was just one episode. He was a guest star, but I love it. So yeah, something happened. Oh, and apparently one of Upper Crust Thugs is a shaved down version of the Sasquatch from a Goofy movie.
Yes. The Boy Scout who walks the little old lady who's actually one of the other minions.
Oh, is it? I thought it was an actual little old lady, and I was like, where did they get this woman?
No, because it's one of the minions. That's why he's like, I guess, so game for all this.
Also, can we talk about the fact that there are no rules in X Games? Like, why did they not, why would like nobody be like, that's obviously cheating, or this obviously shouldn't be happening, or this guy just, like, flew off into space, that's not something that would happen normally. Or now things...
Also, there are, like, cameras everywhere. How did nobody see that?
Well, that's the thing, is, like, they in my mind, they have to have seen all these things, and especially at the very end, like, when the whole thing burns down, you would be like, okay, we're pausing the games. This is not some freaking, like, battle royale. Or maybe it is. I don't know. That's what it seemed like.
Games.
This college takes X Games really seriously.
Apparently they do. They have literal, like, fraternities that are just all about the X Games.
And no external teams, apparently, because both of the teams competing are from this same college.
Yeah, and it said Team 1 and Team 99, which makes me think, how are there 99 teams? Or all from this one school? I mean, that must just be, like, that's what they're majoring in, X Games.
It's like Pitch Perfect, and everybody's into acapella there. Like, each school has their thing, right?
Yeah.
And this is X Games.
Yes, it's X Games. It's X Games for now because it takes place in the late 90s, early 2000s.
I wonder what they do now.
I wonder what they would be now. Like, if this movie were made at this... That's a good point. If this movie were made at this current time... I mean, okay, let's not take COVID into consideration, but, like, let's just say, like, this time frame. What would it be instead of X Games?
Like, skateboarding's back in because of the Vesco Girls or Vesco.
But, yeah, I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
Or E-Games. E-Games are popular.
Oh, yeah, that would be it. Esports.
Video games.
Yeah, okay. I was like...
Yeah.
I just, I figured, but I didn't want to, like, assume that's what it was. That's what I was thinking. It was just like, it has to be something virtual, which is very sad.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what they're showing on ESPN right now. They're showing like a basketball game.
Can you imagine Goofy's face?
Is it ESPN 8 the Ocho?
I don't know, but my parents were watching it for a little while, and they're like, wait, those aren't real people up there. That's okay.
Oh, no, you know what else it could be? Obstacle courses.
Oh, yeah, like all those like tag TV shows.
Well, yeah. So I mean, like, there's a lot of. I mean, first of all, the whole Tough Mudder, Warrior Dash, Spartan Race, like that whole thing is super popular. And yeah, like they're doing certain shows that are centered around obstacle courses, like The Floor is Lava.
Yeah. Oh, and there's the Titan games, which is really popular with a rock. Which is kind of like that, but they're like super strong. American Ninja Warrior?
Yeah. So,
there we go.
So I could see this being like, I mean, obviously, I feel like it's really difficult, but then again, so is X Games.
I guess we just have to see if ESPN's aired it and Disney gets a profit.
Right.
Well, I mean, we're all at home now. We need new content. Disney, animate us a new Goofy movie and tell us what they're doing at college right now.
Exactly.
And have Max learn the exact same lesson over again.
And apparently he's probably still in college because he just doesn't learn.
Yeah, he wasn't there to learn.
He's doing skateboarding. He doesn't learn his lesson ever, so.
Yeah, he would be in his, like, late 30s now.
Yeah.
Okay, that kind of hurts.
I'm thinking, like, maybe he's got a kid of his own now. Like, that kid thinks he's embarrassing. Because he's, like...
a grandparent.
Pushing 40, still skateboarding, and the kid's just like, I don't know him.
Like, you're not Tony Hawk. Move on.
And then that's when he finally understands his dad. When his son is like, Dad, you're so embarrassing. And he's like, oh my gosh, but I love you so much. He'll finally understand Goofy.
Yeah, because this lesson is not sticking.
No.
No. Everyone's like, no.
Even if his kid is embarrassed by him, he's going to be like, but I'm nothing like my dad. I don't understand why you're embarrassed.
Oh, like there's other reasons. He dances around a power line. That's the thing is, like, the music was so good in the first one. There was original music, so
yeah. I really like the opening number in the first one because it sounds like if you made it a little bit longer, it could be like a Broadway opening number. Yeah.
I love that music.
Like the kind of song that kind of sets up this is our world and this is what's going on.
When I got out of college, I used to like record a lot of events, like preschool graduations, and they would play that song all the time.
Really?
Getting out of school, and it's so random.
So you've got really strong feelings about this song.
It was, like, it lived in my head.
Don't play it kind of thing?
Yeah, pretty much. Overall, this has been my question. Would you guys suggest this to someone who's a Goofy fan?
Yeah, I would. I think it also has enough of, like, original, like, kind of Goofy moments that people will enjoy. And, the story, while uncomfortable definitely at times, and sad, is also, obviously very sweet at the end. And, I think I would recommend it.
I would too. Like, Goofy makes out really well in this movie. Like, gets his degree, finds love, like, has his son learn the same lesson again. Like, the soundtrack's really good. I would definitely recommend this movie to a Goofy fan.
Mm-hmm.
Or just Disney fans in general.
Yeah, it's a cute movie. And it gives you a little snapshot of what the late 90s were.
So
we were all just playing X Games.
It's such a time capsule.
All the time. Much. I was like a little kid on my bicycle going loop-de-loops.
The 90s.
This movie's the reason I learned to rollerblade.
Yeah, what happened to rollerblading? Does anybody rollerblade anymore?
I don't think so.
I see people just like regular skating, not rollerblading.
Weird.
Roller skate disco is apparently making a comeback, at least where I am.
Huh.
Well, pre-COVID anyway.
So, Arzu, how can people find you online?
So I am on Twitter at ArzuAmin, so AREZOUAMIN. And I'm on Instagram at arzuD2. And my website is arzuD2.com. You can find me there too.
Yes.
Oh, and on Geeky Waffle.
Yes, she is a writer.
I am a Geeky Waffle writer now.
Yes, she is a waffle. We're just going with it. So you can find Straight Outta Home Video on the Geeky Waffle website and all our social media. It's Instagram, Twitter. Oh God, what else? Facebook. Find us at thegeekywaffle.com. Well, thank you both for goofing around with me.
Ha! See what you did there.
I did it. And that's it for today's episode. We hope you have a happily ever after until the sequel.